today is the last lesson in this unit, evaluating functions. Tomorrow will be a review day, and Friday's test day. So this is the last new stuff for exponentials. Number 1 says, suppose that you have $200. You invest this money into an account earning 5% interest each year. How much will you have in 7 years? First thing I want you to do is write a y equals. And y'all know how to do that because we did it earlier in this unit. So y equals, what's the first thing that goes in my y equals? What's the first thing that goes in there? 200, because that's my what? Very good. It's my y-intercept or my starting value. So I put in 200. Then I'm going to put a parentheses because I see a percent. I'm going to put parentheses because I see a percent. So I'm going to write parentheses. And you have to put a 1. So those are 2 things you have to do when you see a percent. You have to put a parentheses and a 1. Now you have to make a decision. You have to decide if I put a plus or if I put a minus. What is the money doing? Earning interest. That's going to make it go up. So I put a plus. And there's an imaginary decimal right here, and I need to move it 2 places. I move it 2 places, so it's 0.05. 0.05 to the x. Don't forget about your x. All right, we haven't talked about this yet. X is the time. X is pretty much always a unit of time in exponential. So in this case, they actually ask a question. How much will you have in 7 years? Where do you think 7 goes? In the x spot. So it's going to be 200. I'm going to go ahead and simplify that. How does 1 plus 0.05 simplify? Good, 1.05. And then I put a 7 in the x spot. Do I have any x's left? No, I have all numbers. What can you do when you have all numbers? Put it in your calculator. All right, you can put it in your calculator. So I'm going to type in 200. Everybody should be typing this in with me. 200 parentheses 1.05. How do I put the 7 in there? What do I have to use? The caret key right there. Got to use that caret key. Pop the 7 up. And so how much money will I have?
281.4.
How many decimal places do you go for money? 2. Good. So $281.42. $281.42. That's my final answer. So that's how much money I'll have. Okay. All right, number 2, the function p of t equals 100, parentheses 1.05 to the x, models the population p in thousands of a city from 1992 to 2004, where t equals 0 represents the year in 1992. If the growth rate remains the same, about how many people does the model predict will live in the city in 2010? Okay, so they've already written the function for you. So let me write it here bigger and a little darker. So p of t equals 100, 1.05 to the x. They've already written, and that should have a t actually, instead of an x. Okay, they've already written the function for you. That part's done. Do we agree with that? Okay, what is the question asking? What's the question asking for? I want to know what the population is in 2010. In 2010. Do not put in 2010 right there. Don't put in 2010. Let's see what T stands for. T, all right, is going to be 0 in 1992. So T is how many years it's been since 1992. This is how long it's been since 1992. How do I figure out how many years have passed from 1992 to 2010? Very good. So I'll do 2010 minus 1992. How many years have passed? So 18 years have passed. So I'm going to put in 18 in that spot. I'm going to put in 18 in my exponent spot. So you're going to have to figure out how many years have passed. So 2010 minus 1992 gave us 18. And now we're going to plug in 18 in the exponent spot. All right, Riley K., what do you get when you plug in 18? Good. So it rounds up. When you put this in the calculator, you get 241. Is 241 an answer choice? No, 241 is not, but there's something similar to that. What do you guess it is? 241,000. Why are they adding extra zeros to that? Because it says, where is it? It says in thousands. It says in thousands. So they're adding zeros, the thousands, to the answer choice. Raise your hand if you have a question. All right, number 3. Somebody read that one for us. Good. All right, so for this one, I have to write a function rule because they don't have one. So y equals Stephen R., what is my starting value? How much money did they start with? Yep, 215,000. So that's how much money they started with. Brandon, what are the 2 things I have to do when I see 3%? Good. I have to put parentheses and a 1. Parentheses and a 1. Now I have to decide if it's plus or minus. Chase, is this one going to be plus or minus? Good. It's going to be plus. Why is that? Appreciates means to add. Right there, there's that word appreciates. Means to add it. Jack, what is 3% as a decimal? Good. 0.03 to the x. Okay. All right, Shakira, what's the question asking for? Good. Where do you think I'm going to put the 5? Good. So 215,000, 1.03 to the 5th power. All right, Jeremy, type that in your calculator for us. What is that? Perfect. So you get A. Raise your hand if you got A on that one. Very good. Pat yourselves on the back. Good, good, good. All right, number 4. Madison, read that one for us. Good. Elijah, help me write my y equals rule. point what? To the x power. Okay, so that's my y equals rule. You got to do that first. Stephen A., what's going to go in for x on this one? How much time has passed? Read it from the beginning for us. What does it say? 3 years ago. So this one is a little tricky. Got to go back to the beginning to see how much time has passed. So 3 years. So we're putting in 3 for the x spot. Putting in 3. Faith, what do you get when you type that in your calculator? Good. So you get D on that one. All right. Any questions on those two? All right, let's keep going. Number 5, since 1985, the daily cost of patient care in community hospitals in the U.S. has increased about 8.1% per year. In 1985, such hospital costs were an average of $460 per day. Find the approximate cost per day in 2000. Zach, what would I do first? Good. So y equals 460 were the original cost in 1985. So 460 were what the cost started out being. So 460. Then I see 8.1%. Hallie, what do you have to do when you see a percent? What else do you have to do here? Parentheses and a 1. Riley M., is it 1 plus or 1 minus? Good. All right, Stephen A., how do you do 8.1% as a decimal? Very good, 0.081. Okay, what I put in for x is how much time that has passed. How much time that has passed. What year did it start in? 1985. What year are we going to? 2000. Very good. 2000 and 1985. Subtract those and it gives you 15. So you got to figure out how many years have passed. So I'm putting in a 15 for x. Faith, what do you get for that one? Very good. $1,479.59. Okay, and that is money. Okay. Anybody have a question on that one? All right. Number 6. In 1988, there were approximately 430,000 people employed in the U.S. as computer support specialists. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, the number was expected to grow 7% annually. How many computer specialists will there be in 2007? All right, I'm going to let you try this one on your own. I'm not going to come around and stamp. I'm just going to give you 2 minutes to work on it, and then we'll put the answer up there. $790,537. Anybody? Did you get it? All right, good. So that one was what? 430,000. 1 plus 0.07 to the what? What was the power? 9. Okay, so to the 9th power. Type that in your calculator and you got that. Good. Very good. Number 7, a new automobile is purchased for $20,000. If V equals 20,000, parentheses 0.8 to the X gives the car's value after X years. About how long will it take the car to be worth half its purchase price? Okay, everybody look up here real quick. So we're shifting gears. All right, we're shifting gears. Here it wants to know how long it will take to be worth half its purchase price. So do I know what X is? No. Okay, so I'm going to work this one a little different. How much did I buy the car for? How much did I buy the car for? 20,000. Good. I bought it for 20,000. What is half of that price? 10,000. So how about writing that down? $10,000. That's what I need to know. When it's going to be $10,000. Where could I put this in my calculator? Where could it go? The y equals. So let's do that. I'm going to show you step by step what we're going to do. All right, do this with me, please. Everybody, hit the y equals button up here on your calculator. Everybody do it with me. Hit the y equals button. Oh, I've got to recalibrate this. Do your other teachers have this problem? Okay. All right, so I'm going to hit the y equals button, and I'm going to type in 20,000. They've already told us what we're typing in right here, 20,000. And then I'm going to do parentheses, 0.8, and I have to do caret key X. So when you're in the y equals, you do put in an X. You don't do that on the main screen, but on the y equals screen, you do put in an X. Okay? Now we're going to hit second graph. I want you to understand what's happening here. When they first bought the car, how much was it? 20,000. After 1 year, the car is worth 16,000. Cars go down in value because of the wear and tear on them. So 16,000. After 2 years, now it's only worth 12,800. So that's what that means. So let's see what the question says. How long will it take to be half its purchase price? That's 10,000. So where is it closest to 10,000? 3 years. And it's not going to be exact. It's going to be close though. So 3 years. Took 3 years to be $10,000. Number 8, you invest $1,000 into an account which earns 3.5% interest each year. How long will it take for your money to be worth triple its original amount? All right. Shakira, what do you think I have to do first? Very good. Y equals 1,000. Parentheses, whenever you see a percent, you do parentheses 1. Is it 1 plus or 1 minus? Plus. Good. Elijah, what's 3.5% going to be as a decimal? Very good. 0.035 to the x. Okay. Stephen A., what's the question asking for? Good. Stephen R., what was the original amount? 1,000. Jeremy, how do I triple something? Very good. So 1,000 times 3 is 3,000. Do y'all agree with that? All right, that's what I'm looking for. That's what I want to know. 3,000. Okay. All right, so in my calculator, I'm going to put this in the y equals 1,000 parentheses 1.035 to the x. 1,000 parentheses 1,000 parentheses 1.035 parentheses to the x power. Okay, so go to second table, and we're looking for 3,000. So it might take a while. I'm looking for 3,000 over here. And it took 32 years. 32 years to reach that. $32. Number 9, the values of expensive products like automobiles depreciate from year to year. One common method for calculating the depreciation of automobile values assumes that a car loses 20% of its value every year. Suppose you purchase a new car for $20,000. Estimate the time when the car's value is only $1,000. All right, Jeremy, help me write my y equals. What would go first? Very good. 20,000. Madison, what else goes in my y equals? Did everybody put a minus? Everybody, did you remember to put a minus because it's doing what? Depreciating. Is going down, down, down. So that one's a minus. 1 minus 0.20 to the x power. All right. Chase, what's the question asking? Good. So I want to know when it's $1,000. That's the goal. Samaria, how do I figure that out? What do I have to do? Put it in my y equals. You can put it in there two ways. You can put in 20,000 parentheses 1 minus 0.20 to the x power. You could type it in like that, 1 minus 0.20. The calculator will do it just fine. You could also go ahead and simplify it. What would 1 minus 0.20 be? 0.80. So you could do it either way. Okay. All right. Second table. And, oh, let me show you this. Everybody look up here real quick. Look, 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 look. If you go to second window, you can make it start back at 0 if you want. If you go to second window, you can make it start at 0 if you don't want to have to scroll again. Okay? All right, so I'm looking for 1,000. Be careful. That one's not 1,000. What's that one? 10,000. So the closest one I would say is 13. All right, OYO time.